This is your WW3 news on a Saturday afternoon. Now, the Pentagon has launched the science alarm when using too much missiles. And the fact various type of missiles were sold or given to Ukraine against the Russians and other European countries as well could be the fact as well. Because I remember, I think about a year or two ago, the Americans were looking even in the stock of the Italians, what missiles they had. Let's return back today. In 4 weeks of conflict with Iran, America, and Israel, they have fired more than 850 Tomahawk missiles. And the production of Tomahawk missiles per year is 100. Practically 8.5 years of missile production Tomahawk wasted in 4 weeks. And the fact is, can America keep up with Iran and Israel as well, both together? Because obviously the Israelis asked Volkswagen if they would start production on their defense system. I've forgotten its name, which is not such a miracle to stop missiles. Most of the missiles, the Iranian missiles, just came through because it was too busy dealing with drones. And this is a tactic which I think the adversaries of the West, which they define the East as the axis of evil. I think the West is the axis of evil because two top Zionists, and one is considered as Antichrist in many Christian circles, is waging war on Iran and is putting the whole world on the blink of full-scale World War III. And then he may go nuclear. Mind you, so there were some type of politicians who went and use a nuclear device of low yield on a target in Iran. Well, mind you, between the Israelis and the Iranians, they're shooting missiles from one side to another on their nuclear plants. And the fact is, Trump saying, we're talking, they're going to make a deal, they're going to hand over, they'll surrender. No. And he promised he won't attack the infrastructure of Iran. Israel's still doing it. And obviously, Iran is retaliating to this. The fact is, there was probably the George W. Bush aircraft carrier has come into on the war scene because also the Gerald Ford was put out commission his repairs. And it's very unlikely the Iranians are going to accept any type of proposal or deal with Israel and America. They're not going to hand over their uranium enriched, whatever quantity there is, for what? Because this could be the only deterrent. against aggressive Western Israel. Iraq, they said they had weapons of mass destruction. Where it was? Where's the evidence? You know, Scott Ritter in the Congress we were talking about 25 years ago, or even more, in front of Senator Biden, said there's nothing there. And Biden said, you should do what we tell you to do, what you're paid to do. And obviously Scott Ritter said, no, I'm not going to take it any of this horse shit, or take part of this shit show. And obviously the Iraq war started in a way. Things are a little bit more different with Iran. Iran is pretty prepared. They have allies, Russia and China. You don't think they're going to let Iran go down too easy with Americans? No. They are aiding them in, how do you say, direct way or indirect way, where it's political, economical, military speaking. Probably explain why they've got so many missiles and drones to fire, despite their own production of those articles which they made in Iran, which are pretty good stuff for what they are. And two madmen, Netanyahu and Trump. How far the insanity are going to take this war to? Probably to the fact a full-scale war involving other nations. That's what is probably happening. We heard Uganda wants to join in with Israel with a war, and they got nothing. Houthis of Yemen, they're joining in, and obviously the Hezbollah and these groups in the Middle East. You thought the Israelis took them all out? No. They just sprang out of nowhere like mushrooms after the rain. It's like this. And eager to fight. And they got so much vengeance they want to take out on Israel. And it's their allies which are going to participate in this thing. I heard Mark Rutte yesterday, or the other day, we're going to have the coalition force of the willing to go down to sort out the mess of Strait of Hormuz. That's going to be one. That's treading on a landmine, basically, areas. It's open space. The Iranians will probably know in advance if someone snoops around anything of a NATO or West or American Israeli. Everyone's asking themselves, at what point this will get to? I'm afraid it's just only the beginning. There are more worse things to come, seeing this thing is escalating. They say Trump was after the oil of Iran. Didn't you done regime change in Venezuela? And obviously all the petrol companies say we're not going to invest billions and billions in infrastructure in Venezuela. Well, whether you like Trump or not, he brings bad news for the world. And bad news is coming. Fuel shortages could even arrive to the point of blackouts in a nation near to you.